Hello neighbors, and thank you for trusting me to provide you with some Bowness Montgomery real estate information. Now, I've recently uploaded my City of Calgary market recap, so if you're curious about what's going on with Calgary as a whole, make sure to check that video out. I will continue to do these Bowness Montgomery updates every single month, so please make sure to scroll along the timeline below if you just want to skip ahead to the Montgomery numbers, as I'm going to touch on Bowness first. Hi, my name's Adam Fyfe, and I'm your local neighbor here in Bowness Montgomery. Please make sure to check out our Park Bench website, where I've been conducting many local interviews with business leaders here in Bowness and Montgomery. So I'm going to highlight some of the key steps happening here in our community. And this is just going to be a brief overview of the numbers to give you a general idea of what is actually happening here. I have uploaded the full report below, so if you want to read that on your own, feel free to click the link. So let's start this thing off by looking at the price points across each property type. You can see that right across the board, year over year, numbers are up. Pretty much right across the board, all property types are in the double-digit price growth compared to last year. 15 to 17% growth in 1 year is pretty wild. So when you look at these numbers on the side, you can see that sales are up year to date when compared to last year. New listings are up year to date compared to last year. Inventory is down, and months of supply is actually way up year over year. So a couple things to unpack here. First, the year over year stat is interesting to know, but it's comparing month to month, where the year to date or the YTD stat gives you a better picture of the market as a whole. Now, the year over year stat can be quite different depending on situations. And let's remember that these numbers are total residential. You need to break it down into each of the 4 property types to get a better picture of what's actually going on in the market that's interesting to you. My goal is to teach you how to read these stats on your own so you can browse the report and gain a better understanding of what's actually going on here. So this graph here has a lot of information to unpack, and it's mainly geared towards price, which is what most people are interested in. Well, price is the most popular statistic to follow. Watching things like inventory, months of supply, and new listings will help paint a full picture and help give you a glimpse of what may actually happen in the immediate future. So here's a quick example. In this benchmark price comparison, you can see that prices have sharply risen over the last 16 months. Now, along the bottom, you can see what colors represent which property type. 2-story detached are the most expensive, whereas semi-detached homes come second. Now, you can see that little tick at the end of each line has actually gone down, meaning month over month, properties have actually decreased in price. In last month's recap, they actually increased in price. So there's some pretty interesting things happening here in Bowness. Like mentioned, to get the full picture of what may happen in the coming months, let's look at total sales, inventory, and new listings. Now remember, this is total numbers. Each property type will have a different story. This video would get way too long if I went over each. So feel free to book a time in the calendar link below if you want a more personalized stat or information. So sales have sharply dropped when compared to March and May. Inventory, or the number of homes left over at the end of the month, is steadily increased, and new listings have luckily slowed down as well. With only 13 sales in July, 26 new listings coming to the market, and 55 homes left over, I would have to assume we will continue to see a price decline in Bowness, unfortunately. With our 1% rate increase, we are starting to see this thing all over Calgary. So a super quick glimpse of detached homes here in Bowness. You can see a small uptick in listings. Inventory is relatively the same as last month, and 15 new listings have come to the market. This in turn has caused the benchmark price to drop by a few thousand to $549,000 for the average home here in Bowness. So Montgomery. Now, Montgomery has seen some double-digit price growth right across all 3 property types year over year, and there are no apartments here in Montgomery. Now, it's pretty wild to see how townhouses on average actually cost more than detached homes. Year-to-date sales are up, but there was only 3 sales this month in all of Montgomery. New listings are up with 15, inventory is slightly down with 30 homes left over at the end of the month, and months of supply is way up to 10 months, which is pretty wild to see. So if we look at the benchmark comparison chart, you can see that the only line, which is the orange line, or townhouses, saw an increase in price compared to last month, whereas every other sector has actually seen a decrease in pricing. Wild. Now it's kind of interesting to see that there was only 1 detached sale, 1 semi-detached sale, and 1 townhouse sale for the month of July in all of Montgomery. These sales have fallen sharply, with total inventory being the highest it's been all year again. New listings have slightly increased. I think that Montgomery might be heading towards more price decreases as a whole. Now, I cannot predict any sort of things that might happen in the future, but these numbers don't really support a strong housing market in Montgomery currently. And I am pretty blown away that there was only 3 sales in the whole month of July. Now, that's the lowest it's been in the month of July in the past 10 years. Now, year over year in both communities, you can see some steep increases in price, but with the increase of 1 full % in interest rates, I think we're going to see a slowdown and most likely a lot of price corrections in the coming months. Now, in the main report, which I filmed the other day, it actually states that the likelihood of seeing a full reversal of that 10 to 15% gain that we saw over the last 12 months is very unlikely given our strong economic stance, especially in the oil and gas sector. Now, these numbers are fun to watch and can be useful in many different situations, so utilize this report to your advantage. If you want to dive deeper into the numbers, then feel free to call or text me and let's get together. I hope you got some value from this report. Feel free to watch the full City of Calgary recap on YouTube and reach out to me if you have any questions about these reports at all. Please make sure to subscribe to our Park Bench website and join some of the local community activities that we have coming up over the next few weeks. So until next time, peace.